potential doctoral students, and I would argue that this is even advice for doctoral students after they get to their university that they plan to do their residency in. When I was going to when I was thinking about choosing a doctorate program, one of the professors here, David Colvin, who's now an emeritus professor, an excellent professor. Now I count him as a friend. But he told me, I was thinking about going to UC Santa Barbara, which I eventually ended up getting my doctorate at. And I asked him about a professor there, Cedric Robinson, who eventually became my dissertation chair. And he gave me some really great information. He said, go read what he's written. And, for a student, that's almost traumatic to hear that you got to read some more as you're leaving undergraduate school. But, I took his advice and I went and read and got to know him well. I didn't do something else I should have done, and I should have talked to him before I went there. Fortunately for me, everything worked out. Me and him became great friends. He was a great mentor. I had no problems with him whatsoever. He might have had problems with me, but it didn't work the other way around. And to me, that's the most essential thing when you're choosing a doctorate university is find a professor that you can work with. Because when you get to the later stages of your doctoral work and you're choosing someone to be your dissertation chair, and every doctoral student understands that the dissertation is the most essential part of their life. When you're on this side of finishing it, life is very different as to when you get to that side of finishing. It's almost like a change overnight. And there are countless horror stories of people that had the wrong dissertation chair. And that dissertation chair just kept them doing work and was never satisfied with what they did, and did not know how to communicate with them well, and they did not know how to communicate with their dissertation chair well, and they ended up getting everything done. And this is the other side of ABD, all but dissertation, everything done except for that dissertation. And I know some people that eventually went in, they became teachers, road warriors. They did, they were able to do everything except for become tenured professors because they didn't get the dissertation done because they had such a problem with their dissertation chair. And that also sometimes happens with people that go to universities, get into doctoral programs, and they don't communicate with that person before they go there. They don't, or they do, and they get there, and that person turns out to be very different than the person they talk to in their office. And they have problems, run into problems working with that person. So the best thing is to find a university within the area that you're choosing with someone that you can work with. And believe me, the difference in working with someone who you are able to communicate with, you're able to talk past the rough patches, which you're always going to run into with your dissertation, with your doctoral work, and not be able to do that, not be able to find common ground is like